Chapter 4. The War Behind the Ice Walls. When we all awaited in silence, for the captain's words, of which seemed to be unique, an enormous, colossal-sized ship appeared out of nowhere, heading directly towards us. One of our boys climbed up to see what he could, and soon he yelled as he swung all the way down. "They're coming towards us! It's something gigantic!" We all went into panic, but Butler ordered us to keep calm. This time, however, he seemed somewhat nervous compared to what we've previously have been through. His behavior was making me uncomfortable. Who are those that are coming towards us on that colossal ship? As that ship continued to get closer, we didn't move in any direction. It had a reddish color, and as it came closer, we would notice how enormous it truly was. I won't deny that I feared for my life, and everyone on board. I couldn't believe that as soon as we left the walls behind, something would prevent us from continuing to investigate through this unknown ocean. In fact, I believed we were the only ones who had gone so far as to arrive to those waters. We didn't even know the depth of this area, but the ocean still appeared dark. A deafening sound played all of a sudden. It was unbearable. It sounded like a cry or a horn. Later, a voice with a perfect English accent spoke to us, telling us the following. "Dear visitors from inside the walls, some of our men will come down and will get close to your ship. We will not harm you, please keep calm." This message sounded even more frightening. In my head I assumed they could attack us, and we couldn't even escape. That ship was too gigantic, it seemed unreal, like from a fairy tale future. Butler calmed us down, as he too awaited for the worst. He told us to keep calm, and receive this visit with kindness and humility. 3 men headed towards us. It was the first time we had visitors. And we weren't in known waters. The visitors are also unknown. The 3 men wore white outfits. They had badges and emblems on them. There was one flag that waved up high from their ship, or whatever this thing was. The flag was completely blue, with a white circle in the center. We helped the visitors climb up onto our ship, and they greeted us kindly. One of them presented himself as the captain. He then asked us what we are doing there, having crossed the walls. Captain Butler spoke for everyone. He informed him that we had been navigating through the Antarctic Circle, and that a strong current had pulled us onto the other side. That we now were sailing through these areas to investigate them, and understand where we are exactly. Maybe it was my impression at the moment, but I noticed a certain friendship between Butler and the officers. The other captain turned to look at his 2 companions, and they seemed surprised by our feat. They talked between each other, saying that they hadn't seen something like this in a long time. Their captain then apologized for the way they had approached us, as well as the manner in which they boarded our ship. He then explained to us the reason for his concern. "We are very sorry that your visit doesn't seem very welcome here, it really is. But it's been a long time since we've seen people from the inside cross the walls. In fact, we don't know how you left from inside either. However, this does not matter now. I will gift you this map with directions on how to arrive to safer land." His last sentence was not well taken by our crew. We looked at each other with some fear. I had the courage to speak up and ask, immediately, "Safer land? You said? Is there unsafe land?" The man standing behind him replied with, "Well, the lands you come from are fairly unsafe. Do not worry, however, you will be safe, sailing in that direction." It was a unique moment, for us to better understand the situation. I spoke once again, as the owner of this ship. "Excuse me, where do you come from?" I had millions of questions within me. "We are from the Ancestral Republic, sir." The man answered me in a quick, limited manner, and quickly continued with, "Don't worry, I understand you have many questions at this time. I promise, you will receive all the most necessary information once you arrive at these lands that we direct you to. We will inform the ones on land that you are headed their way, so they may receive you immediately." The officers withdrew quickly, looking in every direction with seriousness, as if looking for something. The strange visit left us all with more questions than answers. Captain Butler didn't hesitate for a second, and he snapped all the crew members back into reality. Everyone on board was still fearful and somewhat hesitant. Our mission was clear now. We were heading to new land called the Ancestral Republic. We sailed for a very long time, following the course directed by those officers in white. Butler ordered us to follow this direction rigorously. Soon, everyone on board asked Captain Butler what he was going to tell us, before he was interrupted by the colossal ship. He decided not to speak on the subject, as if he had completely changed his mind. However, he told us the following. After what occurred, I believe we all should open our eyes. Luckily, we ran into these people and we can go to safe land. I think we would not have suffered the same fate, had it been a different ship that approached us. Let's remember that there are people we left behind, very powerful people who don't want us here. Let's all hope and pray that we safely make it to the Ancestral Republic. Later on, you will better understand the situation. It is all somewhat complex, but I am glad we have crossed the walls. The journey has only begun, comrades. Now we need to understand that we are in a war zone, doing something unique. His last sentence left us speechless. We all asked in unison, in a war zone? What kind of war? Which war? The captain immediately replied with, Comrades, pay attention, and let's get to this land as soon as possible, please. Everything will be clear as soon as we anchor. The temperature changed drastically the further we got from the walls. In about 30 days, the area surrounding us had a temperate climate. As directed, we would be close to those lands. We soon began to see birds of various kinds, and vegetation on the water of which was clear now. I had an internal feeling that we were making history. Kind of forgetting the fact that the captain mentioned that we are in a war zone. In which case, I wanted to know who was the enemy.